Hi, I'm Milton Buford, real estate agent and expert with Amin Realty. I want to go over the home buying process with you from beginning to end and leave a question and answer time post this video I'm gonna send you, just so that I can clear up anything that needs, uh, some clarification. Anyway, without further ado, we're gonna start with the beginning of the process. The first thing I like my clients to do is speak with some type of lender. It could be a bank or credit union or mortgage specific lender like Rocket Mortgage, Quicken Loans, or UWM. The reason for that is because it just makes it a lot more easier to begin the whole home search process when we know what you can get a loan or mortgage for, okay? And what I always like to recommend is that you work with some type of lender or loan officer who's going to get you the best interest rates, who has the best programs, who got really good communication skills that are, they're punctual with their emails and so forth, and who's going to probably close quickly and have a good appraisal company. And I'll come back to the appraisal point further in this video. But once we got that figured out, then we can start talking about your criteria. That's what style home do you want? Bungalow, colonial, ranch, etc. Do it have to be newer? What location? What school district? Things of that nature. And other type of concepts, open kitchen or what have you, okay? Once we talk about that and I figure that out with you, I'm gonna create a mailer and the MLS, the multiple listing service system, which is gonna basically only generate properties that are coming up for sale that meet your criteria or close to it. That way it kind of makes it easier for you as a potential buyer, so you don't have to go through Zillow or Redfin and so forth and do your own filtering, right? I could directly send you emails of what you really are looking for. The thing is, once we get those emails, sometimes clients still will send me stuff from Zillow or Truly or some type of website, but just know that they all come from the same place. All agents enter the listings in the MLS, and Zillow and those other search engines pull the properties from there. And you will probably rather just get them from me just because it's a timely thing, right? So if you're pulling them from Zillow, chances are they're late, and there's probably a lot that happened throughout the process where the property could potentially be marked pending. So you want to go with an agent's mailer first, and they'll come to you instantly. Once we get that property, we have to set it up to be seen through an app called Showing Time. That's where all buyers have their agents set it up for the showing. In Showing Time, it could sometimes be set up to confirm our showing appointment right away, but sometimes we may run into issues with a time block of the time it's available to be seen, and or depending on how the agent that listed the property have it set up, if they're going to confirm our approval to see it at that time or not. But I'll get back to you on that. But once we see the property, I'll kind of walk through the property, help you get an idea of what to look for. That could be some major costs and concerns, as well as just take notes on what you're really liking about the property or not liking for future showings. Anyway, let's say that we get a property that you actually like and you want us to put a bid or offer in on it. I will go over the strategy with you. Basically, in today's market, it is a seller's market, and it also is a global market where people are working from home. So that makes it really competitive, because that person that's making, $250,000 living in California and that's working from home, well, now they have the luxury of moving to Michigan, working from home, and basically getting more bang for their buck. So that just makes it a little bit more competitive, which means that we have to come in pretty strong with our offer. So a lot of times what I would do is go through the comps, meaning the sold properties that's similar to the house that you want in that area, matching the school district, etc., and just give you an idea of what we should offer at the top of your budget. And sometimes you get lucky, but I just want to make sure that we can get that property. So anyway, after, let's say we get the property and we get the offer accepted, there are some task items to consider. First and foremost, the way it works is we're going to send an offer where you're going to sign after we met all of your the agreements or things that you wanted. We're going to sign, send it in. If the seller and their agent like our offer, they're going to sign it and send it back, and then we do the final signing as is. If there's some negotiations that need to take place, meaning they want to clarify if the furniture or appliances are staying or something's being removed, or if there's going to be occupancy, meaning that sometimes when we close, the sellers may need more time to get out. Are we allowing them that time? Are we charging them per day for that time? Or are we giving it to them for free? We go over all of that. But anyway, that's what takes place in the offer process. And upon them accepting it, we have the final bottom line signing, and we're under contract. Once under contract, you have to immediately get in what we call an EMD, earnest money deposit. That's just say that you're a trustworthy buyer, and if for any reason you disappear on the deal and just walk away for no understandable reason, that they are entitled to that earnest money deposit, and that's usually 1 to 2% of the purchase price for the house. So let's say if a house is $100,000, that's $1,000. Keep in mind, the higher your EMD, the stronger you look as a buyer, because they know that you have money to just set aside, and and also that you're a trustworthy buyer, that you're not gonna like walk away on them or something for no reason. So they tend to get their attention in a positive way. Once we move from that, we will basically just do our inspection if we have one. That's where a professional, and I could recommend them to you. They're gonna come out, check the house from top to bottom, and let you know if it's worth the offer price, or if these are some things you should bring up to the sellers, and see if we can get some money back, or if they would fix them before we close the deal. Now, let's say in today's market, it's so competitive that if things look pretty solid, we could talk about that. You could potentially waive the inspection, but that's another video and conversation. After the inspection period, we would notify your loan officer and lender, and what they would do is then order what we call an appraisal. That's where your lender, before they just give you this lump sum of money, they're going to send a professional out to assess the value of the property, just to make sure that they're making a good investment and giving you this mortgage. Now, sometimes that can come back higher, sometimes it can come back at value or undervalue. And again, if it comes in undervalue, that's a renegotiation point, because otherwise you have to come up with the money, or the sellers will have to accept your the lower value. But anyway, after you pass that point, the loan officer is going to follow up with you with some updated documents, some new pay stubs. They want bank statements, and something you have to turn in the beginning would be your W-2s from the most previous year, just to show that you had a history of working with the same company. These things come into play when they consider giving you, hundreds of thousands of dollars or what have you. But upon all of that happening, you're going to have to basically, it's going to be a point where you're going to have to transfer utilities in your name, and you can just schedule that out with, consumers or DT or what have you, and pretty much order some homeowners insurance. Okay, that's a big one. Now, a couple other things that's going to go on behind the scenes that you may or may not know of is your lender or loan officer is going to reach out to your employer to get verification of employment, VOE, all right, and a couple other things. Now, after all of that is done, you just have to get a certified check and amount that your loan officer tells you for to close with, and then you're going to need to make sure you bring photo ID, okay? That's necessary at the closing. After the closing, there's a tax assessor document that gives you a tax break, being that you're purchasing a primary residence. That should be submitted right away, and I can help you with that. You just want to do that because it gives you a break on taxes, and you don't want to miss that, because otherwise you could end up paying higher taxes if that's not submitted. But other things I would just say in closing, I have a huge network of all type of vendors, whether they do plumbing, electrical, inspections, lending, you name it, I know it. And I could definitely help you with picking those people to better service you in other departments. But other than that, it's Milton Buford with Amin Realty. If you know a friend or anyone who's looking to buy, invest, or sell, please feel free to give them my contact information at 517-204-1406. Thank you and have a great day.